Welcome to the Business Buyer Diaries. My name is Nathan Platter. I'm a full-time employee, and I bought a business. I did everything right, from finding the deal, handling all the due diligence on 63 opportunities, and ultimately bought a profitable gym. And boy was I in for a big surprise as a new owner. I chronicled everything in real time, including the biggest wins to the stressful nights at 2 a.m. I'm sharing my journey without sugarcoating anything, so you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Here's today's episode. Good morning. So I got 2 learnings for the day, which is more than normal, I think. But anyhow, we'll get started. So always go up, whenever you have a problem or an issue or frustration, always go upstream as far as you can and fix that problem before you fix the stuff that you're working on. So one example, for a side thing I'm working on, I'm selling a service to people that I'm personally selling. So it's outside the gym, it's outside my day job. It's, I guess, like a third business, I suppose you could call it. But anyhow, long story short, I have sales meetings over Zoom with people, and people get an email and text reminders, and they get that by having verified phone number and emails, which come from having a functioning website. And so there's like 3 or 4 things in that daisy chain. Well, unfortunately, my phone number is not authenticated. For those that are wondering, it's called A2P. It's the letter A, number 2, letter P. And it's basically so people don't buy a phone number and start spam calling, spam texting everyone. I mean, you can still do it, but it's just a lot more headache, and it costs like $50 to go through the process. So it makes it tougher for spammers to want to be a spammer. Well, anyhow, right now, people are not getting text reminders for the meeting with me. And part of me is like, okay, it's tempting to say, okay, well, I'll just use my personal cell phone. I can text people. I know their phone number. I know their email. I can text remind them from my own phone. However, it's going to be tedious. It's going to be time consuming. It doesn't fix the root problem. It's just a Band-Aid for today. So what I need is the number that I bought for this side thing to be verified. And the only way that can be verified is if I have a working website. Well, my website is published on like GoDaddy.com, but it's not showing up the right way. It's getting error 404, but GoDaddy thinks that it's working, so there's a disconnect. And my emails are going out. I have my custom email domain, my own custom email for my own custom domain. That's going out okay, and that's connected to GoDaddy, but the website.com is not working, and that needs to be working for the phone number to be validated so it can get connected, basically. And so right now, as much as I want to work on the phone number, I need to get the phone number to work so that I can have sales meetings and people show up. The root problem above all that is having a functioning website and getting tech support so that the GoDaddy site is working. And so here's how I'm viewing it. If the website is working, not only it serves 2 wins. People can see my website. They can see I'm legit. I'm not just buying a domain and a Facebook page, or have a Facebook page, but they'll see it's a real website. It's a real person. Okay, that's helpful to know. Once we have this real website, now my phone number can get authenticated. Now I can start texting people and calling people from my business line. And now people can start getting reminders and auto links to my Zoom meeting, and everything else starts to fall into place. And so it's, as much as I want to fix the problem with something else, I need to go to the root problem, because that will have, especially if there's a double win or a triple win, I need to be worrying on that. Not worrying. I need to be focusing on that thing. I'm going to switch that out my vocab. I'm going to get rid of worrying, and I'm going to instead use the word focusing. I worry too much. I worry and get anxious far too much. I assume things are negative far earlier, sooner, and faster, and more imminently than they are. And I'm going to swap out focus instead of worry. And that's what I'm going to do. So that's one. Go to the root problem as far upstream as possible, because that will trickle down, and that'll help you figure out what the actual final problem is. It could be my people just don't show up, but I think there's a way to boost that by fixing a website, strange as that is. Additionally, there's that one. What else? I learned yesterday, so we had the monthly the monthly instructor meeting with the instructors. the state of the business, the state of the challenge, and a way to like shout out instructors. So we had 5 awards. We're calling out instructors that are doing really well at what they do. And that was really cool. That was really, really awesome. And afterwards, there's some Q&A. And there were 2 questions. One was like, hey, Nathan, how could this have gone better because something isn't quite going well at the studio? And that was a question directly for me. And so I fielded that one. And there were 2 questions I'd fielded. Follow me on this. The first question was, hey, Nathan, how could this have gone better? And it was directed at me and for like me to fix it. And so I had an answer, and I was assuming that the questions are trying to like get me to do something or to change something. The next question was, hey, we have a lot of like new people at this particular class time. Like I think 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. We have a lot of people, like 8 or 10 new people, and that's just a lot of new people. And if we don't have enough instructors on hand or enough professionals, people might get hurt. They might twist something, they might hurt something. How can we fix that? And I instantly went into like defense mode, just like the first question. I thought this was like, hey, I'll exaggerate a little bit to make the point, but I heard it as, hey, Nathan is screwing up, Nathan's messing up, Nathan's not doing a good job. Nathan, you got to fix this. What is your solution? That's how I twistily hear negative feedback. And my default is to just say, yeah, I can see how you're right, because I want to keep the relationship. I want to get to a solution. And so I often take what the other person's dishing at me, even if that's not the right way to take it. And so I said, well, we can have this instructor scheduled. This manager can also be more present. It looks like this day, this manager is on site, so they'll be very helpful in that. And one of the instructors chimed in and said, well, questioning instructor, isn't that something that us other instructors can do? Those are classes that have a lot of instructors. There's usually like 3 instructors for that class. Maybe each of us can just divvy up. They work out, an instructor who's working out as a member can work out between 2 new people and just give some tips and tricks, because we want to make sure no one gets injured. And just to see that and hear that and realize, okay, I take negative feedback as a personal, not attack. I don't want to say attack, but I take negative feedback as a personal thing I need to fix. And sometimes truly what's happening is this instructor for question number 2 was saying, hey, I see a problem. What are some solutions that could pop up? And it's a group question. It's not that Nathan is doing something wrong. It's not that Nathan's a bad person. It's simply like, here's something I'm seeing. This needs to get addressed. Either Nathan, do you have an answer? Or instructors, do you have an answer? Let's make sure like people are not getting hurt. And so that's something that I'm learning personally, that I don't need to be personally feel attacked or violated when there's negative stuff coming my way. Whether it's someone threatening me or someone criticizing me or someone, whatever, doing something negative in my vicinity, it doesn't always mean they're attacking me. It could simply mean they want something about their world to stop, or they want me to step into their world and fix something that I may not be aware of. That was just a personal revelation, something that I'm learning. That at the end of the day, I'm not having to fix all the problems. So I'll pause there. I feel like I've made the point and I've oversaid it with too many words. Gonna head over to the studio now, finish up some things administrative wise that require me to be in person, paperwork, photos, that kind of thing, and then zipping back home for the rest of the day. That's where we're at. That's where we're going. Let's rock and roll. This has been another episode of the Business Buyer Diaries. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. I hope you're realizing that business ownership is no cakewalk. Check the podcast notes for a link to the DIY due diligence program, the complete list of show sponsors, and for media inquiries. Music written and composed by Wes Schrock. I'm your host, Nathan Platter. Join me again on the next one.